Hi Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your March 2022 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Don't put it there. There we go. Scorpio. How will Scorpio be affected by the March 2022 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. The Two of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Six of Cups. That's very interesting, and I'm not surprised by this at all, because the very interesting thing is that the moon is trine Pluto. So what this means is that a lot of our emotions are brought to the forefront. We are ruled by Pluto, Scorpio. So when we have the Eight of Swords coming forward, there's a sense of, I'm stuck in my own emotions. I'm stuck. And what happens here is that we're not going to have emotional outbursts. We're not really prone to emotional outbursts, especially in public. There is the sense of, I'm just taking everything in. We have a very powerful understanding of our emotions and the emotions of people around us, which make us very in tuned, astoundingly in tuned. And it can almost be like the brakes are just put on because I'm feeling so much, I'm taking so much in, and it becomes overwhelming for me. So being aware of that is going to be just very important. It's also bringing up something from the past, And this can be that we just feel overwhelmed like we did once upon a time. This can also be that it's reminding us of a situation that we were in. So we're putting those tones, those undertones to the present situation. And Spirit is saying here, no, don't do that. Don't do that because this is different. We're going to see that there's a new way to open up. The Two of Swords is this real sense of there's new roads opening. There are paths that we took and they were the ones we thought we should. We always thought there were two roads, right? And as we're now seeing ourselves move forward, there's this sense of, okay, well, there were two roads, but now there are so many more options and opportunities opening up to me. It's almost like the sky's the limit, and it's like we went out to the top of a mountain and now we can see all the stars, or we went out into the desert and now we can see all the stars, all the dreams, all the opportunities that are waiting for us. And that is going to add to the fact that we feel just a little bit overwhelmed during this time. So let us look at the energy we have to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is an energy of, I need it done now. And this is a person who doesn't care. They don't care if we are overwhelmed. They don't care if we need time to look at things in a different way. This is an energy of, it needs to be done now. So we're going to need to just be very mindful about this because we're going to be pushed by this person in a direction that we don't necessarily feel comfortable with. There is also an energy here of our own passion kind of getting in our own way during this time, meaning that we have all these things that we want to do, and yet we're feeling overwhelmed. So instead of saying, okay, let me step back, let me connect with me, we're going to think, I just need to push through this, which is actually going to set us back even more. So just being aware of that is going to be very beneficial for us during this time. Our our chakra energy is angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Ooh. It is spiritual awakening. And that's absolutely beautiful. And that's also the energy of the moon trine Pluto that brings forward during this time. We are awakening. We are becoming more aware of what we want and what we need. We also have the moon opposite Neptune. Now, Neptune rules Pisces, right? And Neptune and the sun are right next to each other, making Neptune even more powerful because the sun gives it life. Now, Neptune is all about the spiritual. It's all about our dreams. It's all about what we deeply want on the inside of ourselves. Maybe not what we're experiencing externally. And so the energy here is, how do I bring the spiritual side of my world into alignment with my world, into alignment with the waking world, so that we avoid, destruction, disaster, hurts, pains, disappointments on a global level and also on an individual level. So the spiritual awakening, this real sense of this is how I'm connecting with myself, is powerful, it's innovative, and it sets us forward in a way that we weren't quite ready for. So it can be very overwhelming for us. So let's go deeper into this. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have the Eight of Cups, we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Two of Wands. So the doors are opening with the Two of Wands. There's a real sense of, this is opening to me, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I want. But there's also a sense of, can I do this? Can I walk forward this way? Is this right for me? And what we're going to see is that there's somebody coming forward, and we hold the world in our hands, but they hold the world in theirs. And there's a sense of, are you going to trust me? And it's not putting all our eggs in one basket. It's not saying, oh, this person's going to rescue me. But this person has a way of seeing us and seeing where we belong within the world that is really quite different than the way we see ourselves. We're actually a lot harder on ourselves than we need to be. So this person comes forward, and it's two. It's like, it takes two. It takes two, is what Spirit keeps on saying. And sometimes it does take two to realize a dream. A lot of the times it takes two to realize a dream. You need to have somebody behind you who has faith in you. And we could be saying, for some of us, I don't have that person. And Spirit's saying, listen to your angels. Listen to your angels, because they hold the world for you in a way that you're not ready for, but in a way that they're saying, if you had just a sliver of this, you would be so blessed. It moves us then to the Six of Air. We're starting to take all our knowledge, all our understanding, everything that we want, and we're moving ourselves forward. The Six of Swords is very much a sense of, I need to go on this adventure. I need to go on this adventure. I need to see where I need to be for me. It's almost like I need to break out of this mold, and I need to see what happens. I need to see what happens. It's just repeating here, where I need to see how I can move forward. I need to see, what if I open this door? I need to see what I am capable of. And Scorpio, that's very important for us because we've closed one door, but we're also saying, I get to kind of go on this journey on my own. We have the boat here in the distance. That's important for us. We're on this voyage. We're on this journey. We're really moving forward in a way that, again, we hadn't expected. But the moon is opposite the sun. That's what a full moon is. And this means that opposite emotions, opposite elements within our lives, they come into focus. The moon is all about our inner selves. It's all about, how do we feel secure, and what are we sensitive to, and how do we respond just innately to our surroundings? How are we nurtured and cared for? What was our childhood like, and how does our inner child feel? The sun is all about our passion and personal identity and independence, and how we should let ourselves shine. We're finding ourselves walking to the place that is right for us during this time, taking both those elements, this part of us that's seen and the part of us that is not, and saying, I do not need to share this with everyone. I need to take this for me. I need to see where this leads me. And there is a severe sense of an ending here. We're closing the door on a chapter. We're closing a door on, it could be a relationship that we've put so much of our time and effort into. Yeah, for some of us, it is a relationship. We've put so much time and effort into this. We've put so much time and effort into this person. They're not meeting us. And it can be great when we're around other people, but when the doors are closed, it's just not the same. And that's going to be the same way at work. If this is, because this is talking about a person who's not the same in public as they are in private, and we deserve better. And so there's an ending here, as we're saying, I can walk forward. I am stronger than I ever thought I was. And it brings us then to, goodness, as my striker was just about to fall. Okay. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have the Five of Cups, the King of Wands, the Lovers, the Seven of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Two of Pentacles. What's really interesting is in every single line we've had the number 2 repeat right here. So we've had the number 2 repeat, the number 2 repeats, and now we've had the number 6 repeating. So 2 is all about creativity, it's all about connection. 6 is all about nurturing. So we need to nurture our creativity and our connection as we find ourselves opening up the door. And then the number 8 also repeats itself in these 3 lines. And the number 8 is a very serious number. It's about work, it's about dedication, it's about diligence. And that's going to be very important for us. During this time, we are so much stronger than we thought we were. We just really are starting to learn our strength, our determination, our focus, what we want, what's in our soul, where do we desire being. And there's something here where as we learn our strength, there's a transformation that happens, but there's also a fire that guides us forward. There's a person who kind of steps forward and sees what we are capable of. Now, it doesn't mean that it has to be in a big way. It can just be a passing comment that if we weren't looking for it, or if we, didn't have our ears tuned to a compliment, we'd completely miss it. But there is a sense here of just something little that is said, but all of a sudden it opens up so much for us. It's like, oh, wow, I can do this. And it brings us to this place where we start to change our mind and change our lives. We change so much of what we have brought forward, or so much of what we were focusing on before. We were focusing on a lot of pain, a lot of disappointment, and that has been coloring the way that we've been moving forward. That has been coloring a lot of things. We bring forward the past, and we bring forward what we didn't do right, or how we should have improved. And now we're turning around and we're seeing that there's healing, beautiful love, that there's a connection, that there's so much more being brought to the table than we thought there was. And as we have that connection, we start to have love guide us forward. We start to have a sense of passion and beauty, and a sense of, oh, this is what I wanted. But it also starts to open up the door to love. So it's like, ooh, I can have this beauty come into my life, or, oh, I can be ready for this. And it brings us forward in a way that is exciting, that is new, that has us feeling happy and connected. And it brings us to a place where, as we're like really embracing this love, we start to find ourselves coming into balance. We start to see that we were juggling everything. We were totally overwhelmed. And now we're putting our feet flat on the ground. We're finding ourselves connecting. We're finding ourselves understanding. And there's a turbulence around us. There's a turbulence behind us. And it has to do with our emotions. A person is going to attack emotionally. They don't have the ammunition, okay, to attack us straight on. So this is going to be a sneaky emotional attack, and attack on a character. If we're having a problem with a person, they're not going to stick to the facts. They're going to just go off and name 18 million different ways why we're just a horrible person. So just be mindful of this, that this person does not have substance to back them. They're hoping that you're so busy, juggling everything, Scorpio, that they can easily knock you down because they've put so much work on your shoulders. Be aware of this. We have to be patient. Our time is coming. Patience, the payoff is here. Patience, bounty is coming forward for us. And the patience is going to be so annoying because we've already waited so long. But Spirit is saying this is very important. And it's very important to not rise to the occasion during this time, especially with this person who's trying to knock us off our game. It then brings us to go even deeper. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have the Two of Cups, and we have the Eight of Cups. So as we have the love come in, as we have this connection come in, again, 2 in every single line, things will happen twice. All right. During this time, it's going to be like, oh, okay. It happens once. We think, oh, that's an accident. It will happen again. It's a message. And it's going to be something that takes our attention. It's like, well, why would you have to ask me that question twice? Or why did I have to do this, like this thing over again? And it's going to be because our angels are telling us, pay more attention here, pay more attention here. It leads us to this place where we start to see, what's being illuminated? What's guiding me forward? What's important? We're going to see that the moon guides us a lot during this time. And as the moon guides us, are we ready for it? Are we moving forward with it? Because we're coming back to this place of healing and of love, of healing and of connection. And we've been out of this place for quite some time. And so as it comes in, it's like, oh, well, that's what I needed. That's what I wanted. But we didn't know it. So there's an energy that's coming forward where it's like, yeah, stop looking where everybody else is looking. Because we're just going to find that frustrating and nonsensical. Start looking where we are being guided to. And I know that sounds funny, but it's like somebody's making such a distraction over here. Because if your attention, because if you were balanced, if your attention was in the right place, you would go so much further. You would open up that door. You would unlock that key. And it's important to you. It is important. And so somebody's going to be making a distraction that is just to knock you off your game. Be mindful about that during this time and during this moon. Because this moon, even though something is ending, it's not a bad ending. And again, we have 8 now in every single line. The 8, the connection, the understanding, the hard work, the discipline, the seriousness that comes forward. What we're doing when we're walking away from what we once thought we would love, when we're, deciding to embrace ourselves, we're choosing our path. And for a lot of us, it's like, I haven't chosen my path in such a long time. I've been living for everybody else and everything else. And now I'm saying, well, what do I want? What do I need? What's important to me? And that becomes the game changer here. It moves us then to our lunar message. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Trust. Release. Pleasure. Angels and spirit guides. The end of a tough cycle approaches. A time to give rather than take. And look at the big picture. So it's so interesting is this full moon is in Virgo, right? So we have the Virgo energy and it says right here, you are good enough. And that's going to be really important for us. So that Virgo energy comes in and then it's moving us right here to the new moon. So this energy of you're good enough moves to the new moon and it says it's time to give rather than take. It's time to give of our energy rather than saying, I have to take more, I have to take more. So we're releasing our blessings into the world. We're releasing our power, our voice, our individuality. It is coming forward. It brings us then to looking at the bigger picture and actually finding pleasure in it, because there's such a sense of being caught up in the duty of it all and being caught up in what's expected that the pleasure wasn't there. So the end of the tough cycle approaches. Now we have to trust. Now we have to trust that we are taken care of. Now we have to trust that this has all been for a reason. And it brings us to our subconscious Luna message. And this is peace. The energy is gaining momentum. It brings us peace. Peace, comma, the energy is gaining momentum. That is how Spirit wants it read. And there is such a sense of, oh, I thought you forgot about me. Like, I thought you'd left me. And what Spirit is saying here is like, I've never left you. And so that's going to be so important. It's going to be so important, especially with the focus. Like, it's almost like a magic trick, right? So they're having us look one way, and then they're doing something else over here. And that's going to be something we have to be very mindful of during this time, Scorpio, where they're going to be making all this noise over here so that you don't look over here. Because over here, that's where everything is happening. You know, that's really where all the essence of it is. And again, I don't know exactly what. Let me listen. It's lies. It's lies. It's distraction. It's sabotage. Okay? So just be aware. And they're making all this noise over here so that you don't realize that it's lies. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Two of Cups. Be mindful, because this is a person who you thought you were tight with. You really thought they were on your side. And it's like, no, there is no healing here. This could also be a person that we're giving a second chance to. A person that we thought, okay, let me trust you. And it doesn't mean like the first person that comes into our mind. It has to be the person that Spirit is talking about here. But there is a sense of the second chance not being taken, not being used to its utmost. Our subconscious chakra energy is forgiveness. It's the heart chakra. It's not only forgiving others, it's forgiving ourselves, because we're carrying a lot within us, Scorpio. We don't let people see it, but we're carrying a lot within us. And it's like, okay, well, I should have known better. I should have been smarter. I should have been this. I should have been that. And Spirit's like, okay, that's great. But why don't you show up for you the way you will show up for others? It's time to forgive. It moves us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Queen of Cups. And that's us. That is us coming forward. And that's us nurturing and protecting and guiding and loving and just opening our hearts. We're going to find that emotionally, we're so connected during this time. And if we let ourselves embrace that connection and not be afraid of it, we'll be surprised at the confidence we have. We'll be surprised at the doors that open. We'll be surprised at the way that we can move forward. It brings us then to the Queen of Earth. The Queen of Earth is prosperity and success. The Queen of Pentacles, right? And there's just this sense here of, I've built this. I've built it, and I'm proud of it. I've built it, and it's mine. It brings us then to the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is this energy that's stagnating. It's not going anywhere. It's like having a puddle of water or a bucket full of water, and all the mosquitoes come around it, in the summertime. And it's like, oh my goodness, this is awful. But there's a stagnation of energy. And it's like release the water, release what has been holding us back, release what we've been holding onto. So there's something here where it's not forgiving. It's not that energy, that subconscious energy of forgiveness coming forward. And it's holding onto it. And we're going to see that either we're letting everybody else's energy overpower our own, or we're just stuck. And so that's going to be very important for us to release. It brings us then to the King of Pentacles. Subconsciously, we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have a soulmate connection right here. We have it with the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, right? But because they're from different decks, it's harder to make the connection. We're not going to make the connection if we're not showing up for it. If we're not saying, okay, this energy is around me, or, okay, this person is making themselves known. We're going to be so busy looking somewhere else. And it's again, there's just a sense of this distraction over here. And that's going to be taking up all our attention, but we really need to be present for ourselves. And this is prosperity and success and bounty and abundance. This is wealth. This is planting the seeds and seeing what becomes of it. And we're going to be quite surprised at what sprouts forward. But we also have to, be more aware, because it's going to be so easy to miss it. It is. It really is. All right. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio. And may you have a blessed moon.